All right, handling revisions and comments on a manuscript. You are going to have revisions and comments 9 times out of 10, but you do want to try to find out before you even write the first draft, when you take on the project, what's going to be expected. A typical schedule is to have a first draft turned in and then comments back within a couple of weeks, and then another round of comments after that. So you want to try to find that out up front. You might have a situation where you have, 8 different experts looking at your work and everyone with their own opinions and ego, and some of them conflicting. It can just get out of hand, and you want to avoid that situation. And you can decide up front whether you want to be involved in that project. So you really want to try to find out how many rounds of revisions is the question to ask. You want to be working from an approved outline. If a key opinion leader or expert wants an additional section added or a substantially different direction taken, that is fine, but it is beyond the scope of what you had originally planned, and it's going to take you a lot of extra time to implement that. So you should be compensated, and ideally, you're going to be paid hourly, which is fine. But sometimes you will be doing a manuscript on a flat rate, so that's where it becomes important to change that compensation structure if you're going outside the scope of the outline. And then in your comments, this is just basic common sense, but do your absolute best not to get defensive. And even if you're explaining yourself or explaining back why something should be a certain way, that can appear as defensive. So even try not to try to just bend to what their comment says if it's not going to make a significant error. But if not, you can make a really nice, polite comment explaining a rationale. But that's different than just sort of debating every single comment. You don't want to do that. It's not your job as a writer. You just implement their changes. And if you really don't agree, then provide a rationale, but just know that, if you do that too much, it's going to be very defensive and it's not going to look good on your part, if that makes sense. So you've got different combinations of comments. You've got comments that are really smart, but they're not delivered very nicely or friendly. Then you've got comments that are not so smart, but they're very friendly. And then you've got comments that are not smart and not friendly. So I'll take, if you have not smart and friendly or smart and not friendly, I'll take those two. But like if not smart, not friendly, then that's kind of an issue. And you try to get away from that kind of client as soon as you can. That's a good idea. But it's happened to all of us. Don't worry about it. Try not to get defensive and be professional and polite no matter what.